Leroy, the OG on the marquee Jaybird, and the cat who runs the chat with the stats, Statman Surge. We are Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're not a Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We're not the Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We are your Quad City Sports Talk radio show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the Dawn.
Good afternoon, Quad Cities. Welcome to ESPN 93.5. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Here on Brady Street in Davenport, Iowa, in the beautiful Quad Cities. Soon to be home of the sixth round pick of the Cincinnati Bengals on Saturday. It's draft week. All kinds of crazy things are going on. It's Avengers week. 5 teams got eliminated from professional sports playoffs last night, and 2 of them in crazy fashions. We've got call-in guests. We've got local guests. Oh my goodness, we have a show. We still have a show, everybody. I'm JT. We're still on assignment. Serge is in here on doing this chat on the Vans Pizza Pub and Grill Facebook comment line. I want to remind everybody that we are live on Facebook Live. Go to our page at Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Go ahead and like that, and you can leave comments. You can ask questions. More importantly, you can ask questions for people that are outside of the Quad City area that are cover the draft. 12:30, we're going to have Vic Tafur from The Athletic, San Francisco. He covers the Raiders. Fun fact about that, he was the runner. Did you know that? The runner, the first guy that the referee went to for Oakland. I mean, the Oakland, basically the reporter, during the index card game.
Oh, okay.
In the Monday Night Football game,
Yeah.
The Raiders versus...
No, I haven't looked too much into him yet. I'm just looking forward to talking to him. And
you remember the index card, if you could get an index card in between?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he covers for... he's been covering the NFL for years.
I just know of him and anything that Ryan's filled me in on about him. So, sounds like it's going to be an awesome guest to have on the call-in line.
And obviously, big news coming out this morning that Marshawn Lynch says he's going to retire.
Good timing for us.
Yeah, and you can go to Vic. It's just Vic, VICTAFUR on Twitter, and he says he's not going to write anything up about it till he sees it for sure.
Right.
He said that he's going to wait.
Marshawn says a lot of things.
Yes, and he said he's also more interested to see if they draft a running back now, which is good news for Jacobs, right? The running back from Alabama.
Yep.
So, I mean, we'll ask him, and we'll see, we'll ask him about releasing the scouts. And we talked Monday about that with Rosso, and Rosso said that's not really anything new. And from what I've read and heard, those scouts were out the door anyway. They're not going to be there after this. So they just kind of, with 4 picks in there, Oakland doesn't want anything leaked. So we'll talk to him a lot about that, because, again, the Giants and then Oakland are really the 2 major teams that can really... If there's not any major shakeups with trades, those are the 2 teams that can change the draft the most. At 1 o'clock, we're going to talk to Seth Payne, former NFL offensive guard. He was drafted in the 4th round in the 1997 NFL draft by the Jacksonville Jaguars. He played for the Houston Texans. He was in the 2002 supplemental draft for them. He's now on radio down in Houston, so he'll talk to us about his own draft experience and what he thinks Texans going to do. And, they have a situation as well with Jadeveon Clowney, who they franchise tagged. They have till July to sign him, or else he'll be franchised for a year, or they could trade him. So more NFL news to talk about. Could be something in the draft as well that Houston makes a big shakeup and moves up to trade Jadeveon Clowney. So we'll see about that as well. Bobby Metcalf will be in from Quad City Times. Follow Bobby Metcalf at bmetcalf88 on Twitter. And, of course, in the second hour, after we have Seth on, we'll have Tom Kakert on from Hawkeye Report. He'll be in here just, again, talk about Iowa, the Iowa players, where they think they're going to go. Reading a lot about the Texans. I saw a pick where Amani Hooker goes to the Texans in one of their projected drafts. And I believe that was ToroTimes.com. Houston's a big area, and they've got all kinds of different blogs and podcasts covering for just the Houston Texans alone. So I did as much research as I can over that. Again, like I said, 5 teams eliminated last night. Damian Lillard it goes down in history as one of the best shots. We can talk about that when Bobby comes in. Where does that rank in playoffs? That's a
50 points.
50 points, made a 37-footer in the eyes of Paul George, who actually stepped back, and you said, it wasn't a good shot. Well, it went in, and it sent OKC home. What did I read about that? That he is shooting on the season. He's shooting 37% from 30 to 40 feet. The NBA is 26. So his go in nearly, close to 40% of the time. The rest of the NBA is 25% of the time. So that's not a bad shot, Paul George.
Yeah.
And we can talk about things that, it leads into, the best walk-offs, best shots ever,
He waved goodbye to the Thunder bench.
He waved goodbye to the Thunder bench. Some of the calls were really good. And then we have San Jose, scoring 4 goals in...
4 goals in 4 minutes and 1 second to go up from down 3-0 to up 4-3. Only to have Vegas tie it with 47 seconds left, and then go into overtime. Incredible.
And actually...
I happened to just sit down at about the start of the third period to watch the game.
Vic, who we're going to talk to at 12:30, also is a San Jose Shark fan.
Awesome.
So he'll talk to you about that. And we have someone from an attendance we're going to be talking to after we talk to Vic.
Yep, Hank was at the game.
Yeah.
And he'll be expecting our call. So
okay, so he knows sometime after 12:30. We'll just give him a heads up. We'll go to break and come back and talk to him.
1 o'clock, yeah.
Okay. So that'll be cool to talk to him. Like you said, he was Facebook Living during that.
Yeah. So he started to Facebook Live it either right before or right after San Jose's first goal in that third period. And I happened to have my phone up, and I got a notification that Henry Davis went live. Okay, well, I know where he lives. I know he's been to games before. So I'm like, I wonder if he's at that game. And I click on it. So now I'm watching it on the TV in front of me, and I got Hank Facebook Living it too. So I took the courtesy of running his chat line on there.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
I ran it the way we do it on here.
I am sorry. I said Damian Lillard was 37% from 30 to 40 feet. He's 39% on the season.
Sorry.
So,
Oops.
So he's a lot closer to that 4 out of 10 times that I said. Some games going on today. Early games. Kansas City's at Tampa Bay at noon. Miami at Cleveland at noon. Milwaukee and St. Louis. It just seems like these guys play every time the day ends in a Y. Right. They're at 12:15. Nationals, Colorado at 2 o'clock. Texas at Oakland, 2:30. Seattle at San Diego, 2:40. Giants at Blue Jays, 3 o'clock. And the rest are night games tonight, including the White Sox at Baltimore. Dodgers at Cubs at 7. Minnesota at Houston at 7. And so forth. So like that, we'll talk to Vic, we'll talk to Hank. San Jose wins in overtime 5-4, and Boston ends Toronto's season with a 5-1 victory. They win 4-3. Portland sent OKC home. They win 4-1. Philadelphia won their series. They beat the Nets 122-100. Joel Embiid has a double-double. They win 4-1, and Toronto won their series against the Magic 4-1. They won 115-96. Tonight's games for the NBA: Golden State host the Clippers, and the Rockets host the Jazz. So the Rockets Jazz are first at 7, and then Clippers Golden State at 9:30. Both games on TNT. So that's that. So there's a lot going on. A lot of guests in here. I mean, it's more reckless speculation of the draft and everything. I want to remind everybody, you can go to NFL.com, and if you go to Facebook, my own personal, I'll save it on QC. I'll share it on QC Hassle. You can enter to do it's an NFL.com predict the draft. I just put in our draft from yesterday, the one when we did a mock draft on air, when we did it with Dan Vasco and Merrick Brave. So you can go to that, and we'll try to put something together. I just did it right before we went to air, so I haven't reached out to anyone for giveaways or anything like that, but I'm sure I can find some things. And then I want to remind everybody about this Thursday. We are going to be at Kavanaugh's Hilltop Bar and Grill. We're going to be doing the draft. We're going to have a Facebook Live going on there. I'm going to be joined by Adam Rosso, Hawkeye Headquarters. T-Roy will be there.
I will be there. I'm just going to be there early. I have to dip out.
Yes, you have to go. Yeah.
Going, but.
So we'll have the draft on the big screen and in their patio area. It's enclosed, but if it's not warm enough, we have heaters and everything. And we'll give our own analysis afterwards. We're going to have guests on. We'll have Coach Bell from Augustana on. We have tons of raffle prizes to give away. We had tickets from the Lumber Kings, the River Bandits, the Steam Wheelers. We've got a couple day passes in to the JDC that's going on in July. We've got tons of giveaways, and Front Street Brewers making Mitch, who's a friend of the show, been on before. You guys all know Mitch, big Colts fan. He's making a firkin for us to tap for them to sell. $1.50 draft, $6 tenderloins, and it's just our way of kicking off a great weekend of the NFL draft, and of course, Rock Island being able to host a draft pick of their own, and that's all going on Saturday. That's going on down at Augustana. What else is going on Saturday? We have Monster Jam.
Yep.
We have
was Miranda?
She was here this morning.
This morning over with Dwyer and Michaels.
She will be on tomorrow here.
Okay, excellent.
We'll have Miranda Cozard will be on tomorrow. She drives a Scooby Doo monster truck. She'll be in tomorrow at noon. She's a Davenport resident. She was born and raised here. Went to Davenport West, and now she's on the Monster Jam tour. So it's pretty cool. She's been on it for 3 years.
Really cool.
So yeah, she'll be a guest tomorrow in studio. And so Monster Jam's going on. Single speeds tapping the Gosa down at Ruby's. I forgot to mention Megan Gustafson's going to be signing autographs at the Black and Gold store.
Oh, cool.
This is where when you become WNBA famous and you reach out, this is all the proceeds, the donations are going to the same center for like that Chuck Long had, the Quad Cities Children's Therapy Center, and reached out to the Quad Cities Children's Therapy Center, said, what can we do? And she said, unfortunately, you're going to have to reach Megan's agents. And we don't have the money, I guess, to reach out to the agents to bring her in. I mean, so
maybe she'll just stop by.
Maybe she'll just stop by. Who knows? Well, I know I'm gonna press Caker when he comes in. I hope he's listening because I know Black and Gold Store is the sponsor for his Hawkeye Report podcast. So maybe she will at least get a autograph poster from her to hang up here.
Right. We also have some racing up in Maquoketa, thanks to Kyle Jackson here on the Vance Pizza Pub and Grill Facebook comment thread. Racing in Maquoketa Saturday and Deary Show in Dubuque Sunday, Columbus Junction on Friday night. So,
and correct me if I'm wrong. Fingers crossed, though. The River Bandits will be at home on Thursday. Last I read.
Fingers crossed is right.
Last I heard, they will be at home.
Yep.
Bobby?
Friday?
Hold on. Bobby's in studio. Hold on.
Sorry, Metcalf.
Friday.
Yes. Yeah, Friday, not Thursday?
They're in Clinton Thursday, because they got to take another day to set up. It'll be Friday.
They don't call him Clutch Bobby Metcalf.
He just came in right there. Like, hey, man.
Said, give me a camera.
That's why he's the editor, yeah. Get me on here. So Friday. So Thursday, no game.
They'll be in Clinton Thursday.
But it's considered a home game for them.
It's considered a home game Thursday, 1 o'clock in Clinton, and they'll be at home Friday, 6:35.
All right. We heard it from the man right there.
Parking will be a mess.
Yeah.
wait to really
want to know what? Boo-hoo, they'll figure it out. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, at least they'll be playing at Modern Woodman Park. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be joined by Bobby Metcalf from Quad City Times.
Hey, Quad Cities, stop going to your favorite social media sites asking for suggestions of where to get your oil change, who does the best tattoo work, or the best place for lunch in the Quad Cities. Pick up your Locals Love Us guide. They have an easy-to-navigate table of contents to help you find whatever you're looking for. Or go to their website at localsloveus.com, click on Quad Cities, and then browse the favorites. It's so easy to use, they even rank the most popular places for you. While you're on their website, don't forget to vote for our show, Don't Hassle Us, We're Local, and all of our sponsors. That's Locals Love Us, your guide to the best.
What the heck? No.
So, and the guys from ESPN 93.5 Don't Hassle Us, We're Local, as we will be streaming live on Facebook for the entire first round to provide analysis. Front Street Brewery will be tapping a special firkin just for this event, and Kavanaugh's will have $1.50 drafts and $6 tenderloins, along with prize giveaways and special guests. Come watch the first round of this year's NFL Draft with the best football fans in the Quad Cities.
Get more with McGrath.
Want to know how you can get more for your tax refund? Just ask Gavin McGrath at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport.
Bring in your tax refund and we'll double it up to $2,000. That's right, double your refund up to $2,000.
The McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport is putting your refund to work this tax season.
Special pricing on hundreds of pre-owned trucks starting at just $10,988. Ram, Sierra, Silverado, F-150, certified 4x4 trucks starting at just $10,988. Plus, even more pre-owned vehicles starting at only $59.88.
What about credit approval?
Our finance team will do what it takes to get you approved.
The McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport.
Get more savings, get more selection, and get more with McGrath. 4618 North Brady Street in Davenport.
Online at McGrathAuto.com. Double your tax refund up to $2,000 varies based on price point.
Your garage is cluttered. Instead of a place to park your car, you've got sports equipment, lawn tools, half-finished projects, and a workbench that hasn't been touched in years. Tailored Living of the Quad Cities can take your garage from clutter and chaos to functional and fun. Whether you want a killer man cave or just to get clean and organized with an epoxy floor and custom garage cabinets, we've got you covered. Hi, I'm Amy. Schedule your free in-home consultation at tailoredliving.com and you and I will design the garage of your dreams.
An advance purchase River Bandits ticket is $7 and a Ferris wheel ride is $5. But what if your kids could have tickets to every River Bandits game all season long for just $30? They can if they join the River Bandits Kids Club. Sound like a great deal? And there's even 3 Ferris wheel rides and a free Bandits drawstring backpack, all for just $30. But wait, there's more. Each Kids Club member gets 10% off in the team store all season long, and invitations to exclusive monthly kids parties featuring water balloon fights with the players and ice cream socials so kids can meet other Bandits fans, plus a free invitation to Rascal's birthday party, all for just $30. The River Bandits Kids Club, presented by Modern Woodmen of America. Every game, all season long, and 3 Ferris wheel rides, just $30. Visit riverbandits.com/kids club to sign up. The River Bandits at Modern Woodmen Park, where the fun never stops.
We're back in the Done Right TV and Security Solutions Hassle Palace here on ESPN 93.5. I want to remind everybody out there listening to please go out there and follow us on Twitter at QC Hassle. Same thing on Instagram at QC Hassle, and like our Facebook page as well. While you're at it, go ahead and like the ESPN 93.5 Facebook page. Follow them on Twitter as well at ESPN 93.5. You can listen to us on your app, on your smartphone. Download it, or go to ESPN 93.5, listen on your computer, click in the upper right corner, listen now, and obviously on terrestrial radio. You can leave comments on the Vance Beats Pub and Grill Facebook comment line. Serge is here.
Might even comment back.
Yeah, he might. Who knows?
Might like your comment.
Yeah.
Might love it.
Keep that in mind for comments when we talk to Vic later on, because Oakland's got 4 picks in the first round. See what he says about him, and we get to speculate a little bit with the Marshawn Lynch. We'll see where he goes with that.
Guess what we forgot to do yesterday?
We forgot to do the hassle pick. We've got to do the hassle pick, and don't forget me to do Coach's Corner, too, before some point. We've got to remember to do that as well. But get your hassle pick going. I'm really interested to hear it.
I will pick it.
Yeah, okay.
Erickson reminded us because he gave me a nice little compliment here. It said, once the sports book's open, he sees a new segment of the show calling Sturgis Sherlocks. Said I was the best at picking the spread anyway. I got lucky. I mean, it's all gambling. Mm-hmm. I try to pay attention to pick. I had my own little system, don't get me wrong, but everybody has a system for everything they do, whether it be a bracket or a pick for a game, or anytime anybody says this is a sure lock, that just makes me question it even more.
Mm-hmm. Bobby from the Quad City Times in studio. How was your weekend, my friend?
It's good.
Good. Were you all over the place, or?
No, I took that weekend.
Oh,
off.
that's right. That's right.
Birthday on Sunday.
Your birthday. That's right. All right. 21 finally.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, good
About
for
time.
you.
How was birthday week?
It was fun. Didn't do much. Relaxed. Getting too old to go wild anymore.
So Koss is going to be at Drake.
Yep.
So now you're in charge of all the Quad City Times again. Now that he's gone.
I guess if you want to put it that way.
That's how he came in. He's in editor mode when he came in. He's like, hey, it's Friday, not Thursday. Roll back that tape. Edit that.
Came running in the door.
Yeah.
I just don't want you putting that false information out there. I'm just looking out for you guys.
I know. No, that's what happens when you're in charge of all the Quad City Times. You got to stay. You're always in.
Not yet. He doesn't leave till Thursday.
Oh, we got to get him out of here then. But you're practicing. That's the most important thing.
Yeah,
So where are you running to this week?
I've got some boys soccer tomorrow. PV North Scott. That's a big game.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably for the MAC title. Essentially, I mean, nobody can win it yet, but PV can put some distance between it and everybody else with wins over Bettendorf and Central already.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not sure. Oh, I think I've actually got the Bandits game on Friday.
Oh, cool.
So. And then I'm going to Des Moines to watch Endgame on Saturday.
You're going to Des Moines to watch it?
My best friend, he lives in Sioux Falls.
Uh-huh.
And he was originally going to come here. And then he has a couple kids, so he's going to bring a couple kids to his parents. And then his parents are out of town. So we're going to go in Des Moines instead to meet him in Des Moines to watch it.
Okay, well, it's...
Event of the year.
Okay. I'm going to see it. I'll see it on Thursday night after the draft.
You're going to go?
I like the superhero movies. I do. I'm a fan. I can't follow all the Easter eggs. I was reading an article today about the different movies and how you can go back and find things, and maybe it'll give away the answer to what's going on in Endgame. Are you going to stay off social media for?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah. I got a couple of notifications on my phone, because they've already given press reviews.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 review notifications, and I was like, nope, I don't want to read anything. So I'm a huge nerd, like Harry Potter, Star Wars, Marvel, when everything comes to it. I love that stuff.
That doesn't make you a nerd.
No,
not anymore. I guess
maybe Harry Potter.
And Game of Thrones.
20 years ago, I would have been a huge nerd.
Right. Game of Thrones.
I have not seen any Game of Thrones.
Okay. Did you see my post yesterday? Did you make have you made the post? Am I the only person who doesn't watch Game of Thrones?
I did not make the post. But
Okay,
I've seen
good.
I have not seen any, and no, I have not made that post.
Thank you. That doesn't make you odd. Only 17 million and a half people watch the first
and I don't
episode.
make fun of anybody that does watch it. I don't go, oh, you nerds and your nerd
Serge,
show.
what I'm saying is,
once in a while maybe.
What I'm saying is, if you do the math, Serge, and you look at the world's population, and then you subtract 17.5 million people who watched the premiere and probably watched episode 2.
I think their math's wrong.
They are not one of the only people. That you are not one of the only people who has not seen a single episode of Game of Thrones.
Or in the 1%.
Yes, you're not. It's, oh gosh. And the other thing, and and someone would ask, we were talking about last night, and I've said it before, and I'm not the first one, but they're like, why is it a big deal? And I was like, well, you're looking at probably the end of the last episodic TV in a long time, unless HBO comes out with another, and I don't even think their spinoffs will be nearly like this, but you think about what it's been like. Breaking Bad was the last one that was like this.
Well, I'd say Walking Dead. Still running. That's, as long as that's still on there.
Okay. I've never seen.
I watched that as when I had cable. I don't have cable anymore, so I haven't watched that the last 3 seasons, but it was a good show.
Well, I watch it. I don't know anything about Game of Thrones. I can't even come close to speculating who's going to sit on the Iron Throne at the end.
You said that we were going to do Game of Thrones talk the other day.
I was.
And then you realized that we haven't seen it.
Well, yeah, what I'm talking, if it was all by myself,
Right.
I'd talk to the camera. I'm not going to bore you guys in here. I'll bore the listeners out there.
I know.
But bore you.
I know winter is coming.
Yeah, it's always coming. Yeah.
Sean Bean dies because Sean Bean dies and everything.
I didn't know what
I don't know
that
who
stuff
that
was
is.
from for the longest time. Now I think I get most of the jokes, but then...
And I know Khaleesi is something. Amelia Clark, Khaleesi, something like that. That's what all I know.
Yeah, I don't know who her real name is or whatever else, but she's not a nice lady.
She's the Queen of the Dragons.
No. That I do know. That's Danny.
Oh, that is Danny.
You already know more than I
See,
do.
this is Game of Boners, not Game of Thrones.
I don't know who Khaleesi is then. I thought Khaleesi was Amelia Clark. So I don't know.
No.
But that's my point, though, is I don't knock anybody for enjoying it or watching it. Other than like if you say like you have to like cancel all your plans because Game of Thrones is
But
on. But
if we make this a Marvel talk, I can Marvel, Star Wars, something like that talk. I can talk that thing for hours. Hours.
So
Love that stuff.
So like all the Star Wars spin-offs and everything else, you're in on that?
Hated Solo.
I still haven't seen Solo.
Hated it. It's the worst Star Wars movie ever, in my opinion. But yeah, no, the other ones have been pretty good.
All right. I don't know how I spun this into this or what. Oh, because we were talking about Avengers. I'm trying to. I haven't seen. Here's a question for you. Do I have to see Captain Marvel first?
You don't have to.
I was gonna go
Captain
late
Marvel's
last.
a good movie.
I was gonna go late last night, just to the cheap theater tickets on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Just to kind of catch up and everything.
You don't have to go see it before you see Endgame. It would probably help a little bit. And it's just a good movie. But
It's just a good time overall. Yeah. Just we should do that.
I'm free tonight.
Yeah, maybe I think I am too. Maybe we'll have to go see Captain Marvel. I don't know.
I'd go do that.
The thing about
I'm pretty up to date on everything else.
Now the other thing, those chairs are just so darn comfortable.
oh, I know. That's the greatest thing they ever did.
Yeah.
I don't know how T-Ray's gonna make it.
I don't know. He's gonna have to like mainline.
Have you guys ever done one of the D-Box seats?
Yes, I just did it for Shazam.
What did you think?
It was fun, but
The
it's
Shaquille O'Neal movie?
no.
Kazam.
It's Kazam.
I was taking a
The
drink.
ATM movie.
I was taking a drink at the time when one of them like big thing and shook me and I spilled whatever. I was
Yeah.
like it
The
startled
only
me.
time I've been in one of those was at like, I think it was in an Avengers demo out in Vegas where you go through like the 3D experience and you go through, and then you sit in for like, it was only like a 5 to 10 minute trailer type of thing, but it had. This wasn't just the D-Box where it shook. This was like they squirt water at you.
Oh,
They
yeah.
like blow the gust of air on the
Oh
back.
no, thank you.
Oh, dude, it was cool. We had glasses on, but the water hits you right in the eye.
Yeah, I've done some of those like
The air,
Universal Studios.
gust of air on the back of your neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I D-boxed Infinity War, and it was okay. I didn't think it was worth it. That was a little bit distracting, but
Yeah, the just the regular luxury loungers are fine with me.
yeah.
I mean, sit back, relax, feet up. Well, you can put your feet up now, and you're not a jerk for doing it.
I know.
You know, it used to be the people that put their feet up in the movie were, the a-holes.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Were you one of those?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, well, I was too.
Like, nobody's sitting in front of me. Of course I'm putting my feet up.
Right, but I mean, it's like, put your feet down. This isn't your basement. That's what I always got from, like, when I was growing up. But now it's encouraged.
Yeah, it's
Prop your
great.
feet up.
It's great.
I always forget my phone in the movie theater.
No.
You ever do that, Jay?
Nope. I make sure everything is accounted for.
Because I have my phone turned off. Obviously,
Yeah.
I'm not going to leave my phone on. And I have it face down so it doesn't light up the thing. And I just get so comfortable there. When I get up, I just want to kind of like slink on out of there back into the real world. And I get all the way to the car and I have to go back in and get my phone. I've done it like 3 times.
They let you back in, huh?
Yeah, I've had to knock and wait out there before.
Yeah. Can we do a quick? Can we take a quick break before we
Talk to
call
Vic?
Vic? Yeah,
Sure.
let's do a quick promo and then we'll call Vic and talk to him about the draft of the Oakland Raiders and the index card game.
Front Street Brewery, the oldest brew pub in the state of Iowa, is nestled beautifully along the bank of the mighty Mississippi. It's served the fine community of Davenport, Iowa since 1992 with awesome beers such as the Davenport Gold, a satisfying American ale, pale straw in color, with a sweet corn-like aroma and a crisp, clean finish. Smooth, balanced, and refreshing. The Wise Guy, their take on the instantly recognizable German wheat beer that staked its claim on palates around the world. Brewed with noble German yeast, this refreshingly sweet and smooth brew features a citrusy tart aroma with significant notes of banana and clove. Prost. Or the Raging River, an English-inspired American India Pale Ale with incredible balance, featuring an earthy, slightly fruity hop aroma with moderately bready malt notes. A bronze-colored IPA that you don't need a beard to drink. This is your gateway IPA. Check out their Facebook page for food and drink specials. Also visit their webpage at www.frontstreetbrew.com. Calling all bars and restaurants, call your local distributors to get Front Street on your tap lines or in your coolers now. Go to the restaurant at 208 East River Drive or the tap room at the Freight House Complex.
When storm damage hits, All Major Restorations is your insurance claim specialist. Loose or missing shingles, dented siding, or damaged windows. All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities works with your insurance company, making the process quick and easy. The insurance company has people fighting for them. Let All Major Restorations work for you. Residential, commercial, and industrial. There's a reason they have an A+ accredited Better Business Bureau rating. Storm damage estimates are always free. Visit amrestorations.com. All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities.
The NFL Draft is this Thursday, so come join us at Kavanaugh's Hilltop Bar and Grill for the unofficial kickoff to the NFL Draft weekend in Rock Island. Join me, Adam Rosso, and the guys from ESPN 93.5 Don't Hassle Us, We're Local, as we will be streaming live on Facebook for the entire first round to provide analysis. Front Street Brewery will be tapping a special firkin just for this event, and Kavanaugh's will have $1.50 drafts and $6 tenderloins, along with prize giveaways and special guests. Come watch the first round of this year's NFL Draft with the best football fans in the Quad Cities.
Blue Jack.
Spring savings have sprung during the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event at Lou Jack Honda. Take a spring payment break. That's no payments for 90 days. Or drive the new 2019 Honda CR-V LX. Lease for $299 a month at Lou Jack Honda.
Blue Jack.
Honda CR-V LX all-wheel drive. Automatic 36 months. 12,000 miles per year lease. $999 plus 0 security deposit to its signing. Plus tax, title, license, 20D doc fee. Residency restrictions may apply. Manufacturer incentives applied. With approved credit. Interest accrues from time of delivery. Ends 4/30/19.
Here are the top 10 reasons to join Tarpon's Martial Arts Center. 10. They've been voted the best martial arts instruction by Locals Love Us. 9. It's fun for all ages. 8. Kickboxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu will definitely get you in shape. 7. Everyone wants more self-confidence. 6. You've always wanted to try martial arts. 5. Tarpon's has certified black belt instructors. 4. It gets the kids out of the house. 3. Did I mention it's fun? 2. Get a free set of foam nunchucks with a new membership. And the number one reason to join Tarpon's Martial Arts Center, it's easy to start your lessons today. Visit tarponsdojo.com.
You're listening to Don't Hassle So Local here on ESPN 93.5. We're live in the Hassle Palace, brought to you by Done Right TV and Satellite Security Solutions.
Some smooth grooves you got there, Jay.
Yeah, what's the Dawn, man? How smooth are they? In studio with me is Serge and Bobby Metcalf from the Quad City Times. We're going to give Vic Tafur a call right now. He's out on the West Coast. He covers the Oakland Raiders for The Athletic. So, again, you can follow him on Twitter at Vic, VIC-TAFUR, and he's ready for our call. We're going to go straight to air here. So I did text him, so he's not going to Metcalf us. If he Metcalf, boom, it's over.
It's a fourth wall break inside the fourth wall break.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hey, Vic, this is Jay Foster from ESPN 93.5. You're on the air. How are you? Good. We also have in studio Serge, and we have Bobby Metcalf in here, too, so if you hear different voices, I'm not playing different characters or anything like that.
Okay.
How are things going out there?
Pretty good. Just counting down the hours.
Yeah, it's. I know I saw on Twitter that you wrote. We're going to start right away with Marshawn Lynch. I saw on Twitter that you said you're not going to read too much into the story until you hear more. What can you just get people up to speed as what's going on? What the story is so far?
Yeah. So basically, there's reports that he's not going to come back, which could be true, but I still think that the window's still open. I think they may take a running back in this draft, and they may not. And if they don't, then I think there's a chance for him to come back and still play limited role. I think he held it here last year. I think John Gruden and Mark Davis still have a soft spot for him. So until I hear from Beast Mode himself, I'm not ready to say he's retired again.
It is a little crazy to do that right before the draft. But again, it's not the first time he's retired either. Gone on any type of social media to do that.
Well, it's kind of nice of him to do that before the draft, so they know what they have going into it.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's his style. I don't think he really does things to
help
everybody else out. I think he's on his own little schedule. I think he's still got avenues to pursue and still got options. So we'll see. I mean, it definitely could be. It could be done, but I'm not sure that's been decided today or this week.
All right, let's talk about the draft. The Raiders have 4 picks going into this. What do you see going down with the Raiders, and are they going to come out of this with a quarterback?
I think it will be a quarterback. I don't think it will be in the first round. I think I'm more thinking maybe like a Ryan Finley type in the third round or fourth round. So, but I know Derek Carr is a few other reports, and it can't be a fun time to be Derek Carr, but I still get the sense they're going to do it. I think they're going to wait and see what happens, and ideally, we'll give Derek another year. They got some weapons for him this year. They got, Antonio Brown and Williams, and they got the big tackle, Trent Brown. So I think they give Carr another season to kind of take that next step and kind of click with Gruden. And then you're going to reassess after this year if you need to get a quarterback.
So you don't think there's any way that they trade up and get Kyler Murray?
No, I'd be surprised. I mean, with John Gruden, he's a wild card, so I can't ever rule anything out, but I don't think that's the plan. I think the plan right now is you sit at 4. I obviously think if they're going to trade up, I think Nick Bosa would be a better target than Kyler Murray. But I think right now the plan is you're at 4, and ideally Quinn Williams falls to you at 4. You take him. Otherwise, you try and trade down, and get some more picks and get a pass rusher later on in the first round.
It would be neat, though, if Kyler Murray played his home games at Oakland Stadium, right?
I guess. I mean, I think Derek Carr has done enough for you to give him another year, and I think there's still a lot of question marks about Kyler Murray. He's not a sure thing. I think the height thing is a valid concern. I know he was great last year. Everyone makes the comparison if Baker Mayfield could do it. Well, obviously, Kyler Murray can do it, but I think it's apples and oranges, and I understand how people are excited about him, but I think there's still kind of a risky move to do that when you already have a quarterback on your roster. You're paying $19.9 million guaranteed, so I'm not sure it makes a lot of sense for a team that was 4-12 last year.
No, I don't think it makes any sense. I just think it'd be fun for him to play at Oakland on the baseball field that he was supposed to play at originally.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
I'm sure the A's would love that, but we'll see. Like I said, with Gruden, anything's possible. So you can't really. I mean, Max doing all the work, and he'll have the homework done and the draft cards ready to be handed out. But I think at the end, it'll be John Gruden who says yes or no, and no one really knows what he's going to do when the time comes.
What is it like covering Gruden?
He's hilarious. I mean, to me, he always cracks me up. Even after losses, I have a hard time not laughing because I think he's the funniest guy. And Sam Antonio Brown is also a pretty funny guy. So I think it's been a weird a year and a half now. I think there was so much buzz coming in. The fans were on board and excited about Chucky's return, and he talked a big game. And last year, obviously, they kind of tanked a little bit. They traded away Khalil Mack, didn't get anything back, so it was kind of a rough year for the players in the roster, and I think Gruden had a hard time. But I think now he's saying that he paid the price for a reason. He has just 3 picks in the first round this year, so it's a real chance to kind of step on the gas and get this rebuilding thing going a little faster to get the 3 guys who can start right away.
How long have you been covering the Raiders now?
My 10th year.
Jeez, that's great. And how are things going at the Athletic?
It's great. I made a good move. I'm really happy. I think I like our vision. I like what we're doing. We keep hiring people, which is a great sign. We have writers throughout the league and through all the leagues. I just think all the feedback's been positive. I know people are kind of still hesitant to pay for a subscription if it's not a newspaper, but everyone who does, I'm pretty happy with it. So we definitely keep in touch with the readers a lot and kind of get their feedback, and it's more interactive, I think, the other forums are. I just think you hear their feedback right away. I think if I didn't get the impression people were pleased with the product, it would be a concern. But everything I've heard has been great, so I'm definitely very excited about how it's been going and also about the future.
I definitely agree. I subscribe. I enjoy it quite a bit.
I appreciate you.
Considering who the Raiders gave up to get these picks, how much pressure is on Gruden to hit with all these picks right now?
There's pressure, but I don't know if he feels too much pressure. I think he's kind of, he's got this huge contract. He's kind of a huge superstar anyway, So I think he wants to win. He wants to do it sooner than later. But again, I think the way this is set up now, if you say, let's say worst case scenario, these 3 picks don't pan out in a couple of years and they aren't impact guys, who's taking the blame for that? John Gruden or Mike Mayock? I think it'll be Mike Mayock. So I don't know if there's that much pressure on John Gruden. I know he wants to win. He definitely feels like he owes the fans something, but as far as getting this done, however long it takes, I think he'll be there at the end when it happens.
What was it like covering that Khalil Mack trade? As a Bears fan, I loved it, but being on the actually covering it, what was that whole thing like?
Yeah, it was. I don't know if it was shocking is the right word, but because I kept hearing they weren't going to do it, and I think there was a report in Chicago that quoted Reggie McKenzie just like a month before the trade happened, where he said, "Over my dead body, we trade Khalil Mack," which is what I was kind of told and kind of the impression I got that wasn't going to happen. But I think they panicked. I think they got an offer that they weren't willing to roll the dice if Khalil was going to report and plays last year, so they kind of panicked. And I think you can see that by the fact that they not only gave back the second round pick, but they did it at a time where they got nothing back for last season. So like the players in that roster, I mean, think about it. It's quite the hit to lose your best player. And then when you say, hey, what will we get back? And, nothing. We got, a year from now, we'll get some players. But for the next year, you got nothing. So I think it was a really tough blow for the veterans on that team and the players on that team last year.
Some things were said over the weekend, and now I'm, been reading a lot more about the scouts being sent home. It's not really as big as a deal as the national media made it sound, is it?
I mean, it's somewhat in the middle. It's definitely awkward. It's not ideal. I think the way it got out made it seem like it was a panic move. But, I mean, I get it. I think a lot of teams do that in a variety of ways. They limit the access to scouts, and they kind of, I think Belichick was a similar thing. So I think it's not groundbreaking, but it's also not doesn't sound good. I definitely get the optics, and people say that's a bad look for the Raiders. But I think if you're Mike Mayock, this is your first draft. You want to do this for a long time. So you're not going to take any chances. If you think there's a leak, you look back at last year when everyone kind of knew what they were doing as far as they wanted to tackle. If not McGlinchey, then Colton Miller. So I think that was out there last year. So I think Mike knows that. So I think he's trying to keep things closer in house, and we'll see how it goes this week.
Well, is it a leak, or is it that majority of the scouts are going to get fired and they're going to go get their own scouts in there?
Yeah, definitely. That's part of it. I think that's the other thing. I think, but normally if this guy's, right out the rest of the week and then go through the draft process. Usually don't tell guys to go home and not come back before Easter. But I think a lot of these guys are not coming back. Like, for example, Riley McKenzie, who's Reggie's twin daughter's been still on the staff, which is, can you imagine a double takes at the combine that, when you see, see Reggie McKenzie wear a Raiders shirt, talking to guys like, what?
Mm-hmm.
But, so, I mean, it's just it's such a weird deal where when guys come in like Mayock and you have these scouts who are in place, you can't replace them at that point. You got to let them finish out the year, finish out the scouting process. So I think it was going to happen. Most of these guys weren't coming back anyway, but the way it was handled and the way it was leaked to to the members of the national media, I could see why it's a story.
Vic, we just have a few more questions for you because I know you're busy. Can you take me back to that index card game that you covered, the Raiders versus the Cowboys?
Oh, yeah. I was the pool reporter, so I was the one who had to go down and talk to the officials and after the game. Gene Steratore, and I remember there was definitely a lot of panic in the locker room area. The officials get dressed after the game, and a lot of people on the phone with him, and he didn't talk to me for a while. I was getting the right answer, and lawyers came in to make sure he said everything right. And obviously, it was something that he shouldn't have done, but he can't say that. He can't say that I shouldn't have done it. He just, but obviously, I think one of the Raiders, but I think fans say that kind of stuff happened to. So I think it was just another weird glitch in a couple of weird seasons.
That it was definitely strange. And then again, last night, the San Jose Las Vegas game. I know we're kind of changing gears here, but we're still sports show. You're a San Jose guy. I can tell by your Twitter feed. Tell me about it. How that was going for you?
I only watch the Sharks during the playoffs. I'm not really a hockey guy, but I definitely love playoff hockey, and I watched that game, and I was very close to turning it off. It was 3-0. I knew that the Blazers and Thunder were on another channel, and I was like, I might kind of change the channel, but for some reason I didn't. And it really might have been the greatest 5-10 minutes of sports I've probably ever seen. It was up there. It was just the way the turnaround and the passion and the fans and the players, and just you could tell like they were playing for Pavelski, and just the avalanche of goals. It was pretty incredible. I mean, I hate to say, I've watched so much basketball and football in my life that I can't imagine the greatest thing I've seen was hockey, but it's up there. Definitely. It was the greatest. To score 4 goals that quickly and save your season was pretty amazing to watch.
Yeah. I think you retweeted that the Golden Knights Sharks third period was snorting cocaine while riding a motorcycle out of a helicopter.
I think that was a good take.
Yeah, it was a good one, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know personally, but that's how it feels.
You could just by reading it, though. I wouldn't know personally either, but I think that it pretty much sums it up. And like you said, probably the best 5 minutes in sports that you've seen. So, are you headed to Nashville for the draft?
No, I'll be in Alameda. I'll be at the team headquarters. They keep us downstairs, and the war room's upstairs. Then at the end of the night, Gruden and Matt will come down and talk to us about the 3 picks. So it's maybe more if they make some trades. But I was thinking about going to Nashville, but it didn't quite work out. And I think Alameda is the best place to be just because you're close to the Brain Trust upstairs.
And then what are your plans when the team moves to Vegas?
It's a good question. And everyone asks me that. I don't have an answer for anybody yet.
Okay.
I'm still thinking. I'm still trying to weigh the options. And my daughter's 12. And she told me 3 years ago. She said we're not moving to Vegas. So I think she knows. I think she thinks she has the deciding vote. But we'll see. I mean, everything's wide open. But like we said, I've been covering the team for a long time. It's definitely gotten comfortable. I like it. So we'll see where that goes.
Okay. You're Mayock. You're Gruden. Who are you going to pick at number 4 for the Raiders?
I'm taking Williams. I think there's a good chance he'll be there. I think both will be gone. I think Murray's going to the Cardinals. I don't know what they're doing with the charades. I think it's been a ridiculous approach by them. But I think they're going to take Murray. I think Williams and both will go 2 to the Niners. And then I think at 3, I think there'll be a trade. I think the Jets probably trade out. I also may look at Josh Allen. But I think Williams will be there at 4. I think that's the. I know he's not the pass rusher that they so badly need, but he still gets to the quarterback. He still makes an impact in that regard. So you get the best player available, get Williams at 4, and then try and get a pass rusher later on in the first round.
All right, Vic, I want to thank you so much for your time, taking away 15 minutes of your day. I know you're busy going into tomorrow's draft, so I appreciate you answering Ryan's email and getting this together for us. So thanks again, man. You have a great day.
No problem. Take care, guys.
Yeah, take care.
Thanks, Vic.
Yep. All right, that was Vic Tafur from The Athletic San Francisco. You can follow him on Twitter at Vic Tafur, Tafur. It's VIC. So VICTAFUR. A lot of good insight there. Obviously, he's been covering the Raiders for 10 years. He's seen a lot of ups and downs. He brought up the index card game, said it's just one of those things that happened for the Raiders. And, you know, enjoys covering Gruden, enjoys covering Brown, but doesn't know what's going to happen when they go to Las Vegas. And that's kind of life, you know? So you get your ups and downs and figure out as you go. So I want to thank him for coming in, and I hope that kind of any of the Raider fans that we have out there. I know TK's out there, and I know Jacobson's out there.
Jacobson, TK, obviously Ryan Reeves. Thank you, Ryan, for helping set that up.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan.
So.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Tonight at 8 o'clock at Van's Pizza Pub and Grill is Bar Wars Trivia. Hosted by a fan of the show, Nick Toffanelli, Bar Wars Trivia is free to play. You can win house cash and impress your friends with how smart you are. Enjoy $3 burger baskets from 6 to 11, and Wednesday is Cup Night. $5 for your first cup and $3 for your refill. You can get any of Van's food items to go. Go to www.vanspizza.net to check out their menu. Or you can call Good to Go Quad Cities at 322-2220 to order any of their food items, or go to goodtogoqc.com. To grab these specials and more fun, go to 3333 North Harrison Street, or check out the downtown Davenport location at 217 Brady. Van's Pizza Pub and Grill, come get served.
Hey, this is Goose, PA announcer for the Quad City Storm, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5.
Do it again, a little more heart.
Eat fresh and save money. That's our commitment at Nolly's Kitchen. Our homemade corn tortilla and gorditas are both delicious and gluten-free. Nolly's always uses lean meats, and they offer low-carb and vegetarian options. Taste their one-of-a-kind menu items like empanadas, churros, enchiladas, and tamales. Carry out available or order online for faster service at nollyskitchen.com. Plus, check out their express menu and get your food in 15 minutes or less. Nolly's Kitchen, old-fashioned Mexican cooking. Rockingham and Division, Davenport.
An advance purchase River Bandits ticket is $7, and a Ferris wheel ride is $5. But what if your kids could have tickets to every River Bandits game all season long for just $30? They can if they join the River Bandits Kids Club. Sound like a great deal? And there's even 3 Ferris wheel rides and a free Bandits drawstring backpack, all for just $30. But wait, there's more. Each Kids Club member gets 10% off in the team store all season long, and invitations to exclusive monthly kids parties featuring water balloon fights with the players and ice cream socials so kids can meet other Bandits fans, plus a free invitation to Rascal's birthday party, all for just $30. The River Bandits Kids Club, presented by Modern Woodmen of America. Every game, all season long, and 3 Ferris wheel rides, just $30. Visit riverbandits.com/kidsclub to sign up. The River Bandits at Modern Woodman Park, where the fun never stops.
The NFL Draft is this Thursday, so come join us at Kavanaugh's Hilltop Bar and Grill for the unofficial kickoff to the NFL Draft weekend in Rock Island. Join me, Adam Rosso, and the guys from ESPN 93.5 Don't Hassle Us, We're Local, as we will be streaming live on Facebook for the entire first round to provide analysis. Front Street Brewery will be tapping a special firkin just for this event, and Kavanaugh's will have $1.50 drafts and $6 tenderloins, along with prize giveaways and special guests. Come watch the first round of this year's NFL Draft with the best football fans in the Quad Cities.
Dynamic Power Racing Technology is a one-stop shop for all your street and racing needs. Better handling, routine maintenance, or more power, Dynamic Power offers a complete in-house machine shop with computerized balancing, dyno testing, and cylinder head repair. From full engine rebuilds to brand-name parts, at Dynamic Power, we work with you to give you the best build for your budget. Track-tested, customer-approved. Dynamic Power in Moline. Call 762-2323. That's 762-2323.
In a world where dreams are built from the ground up, Tailored Living makes room for your vision. Imagine his and her walk-in closets in the master bedroom.
Oh, my dream come true. I could just kiss you. Mwah!
Sweet. Your home, your dream.
Tailored Living Custom Closet or Organization System will take you from clutter and chaos to control. Hi, I'm Amy. Schedule your free in-home consultation at tailoredliving.com, and together you and I will build the closet of your dreams.
For your vision, imagine his and her walk-in closets in the master bedroom.
Oh, my dream come true.
Welcome back to ESPN 93.5. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local here in the Hassle Palace, brought to you by Done Right TV and Security Solutions. We just got off the phone with Victor Ford from the Athletic San Francisco. In studio right now with Bobby Metcalf. We only have a couple minutes with Bobby. He's got to run and get something to eat. So, Bobby, do you subscribe to the Athletic?
I don't.
You don't?
I've been on the fence about doing it,
and
I just haven't pulled the trigger.
Yeah, it's... I do. I subscribe to it. It's a different. I mean, their readers are very loyal.
Yeah,
and they will defend them to the end. Everybody on there. I mean, and I guess it's what you do when you pay for something. I guess too. You know, but no, it's very good. And obviously, it's all over. All major areas have their own people on there and the staff. And like Vic said, if it wasn't working, then he'd know about it. So obviously, it's working. You said you're headed out to North Scott tonight. Do some interviews.
Yeah. Just trying to catch up with that soccer team because they're off to a pretty good start, but they got a big game tomorrow with PV.
And what are you doing for the draft?
Well, nothing. Usually I watch it. I'm sure how much I'll watch it this year.
Because the Bears in the first round. Yeah.
But we didn't even talk about the games last night. Holy cow!
What do you mean
we touched on it, but man, like the Sharks game.
Yeah.
You talked to Vic about the Sharks game, and then you got the Lillard shot.
The Lillard shot was amazing.
Those are two amazing West Coast.
Yeah,
that was a great 10 minutes of television.
Absolutely. Yeah, we talked about it at the beginning of the show a little bit before you came on, and just Paul George saying that it wasn't a good shot. And
it wasn't a good shot. I don't care. You can give me all the stats you want. It wasn't a good shot.
Well, it was pretty good, though.
No way in hell 37 feet is a good shot any day of the week. I don't care if it's Steph Curry, Damian. I don't care who it is. That's not a good shot.
I can't.
Step back? No way.
I think that is...
It's only a good shot. It's only a good shot because he made it. If he misses it, it's a bad shot.
I think that's the longest shot. That's not like a prayer that's up there. I think Reggie Miller hit a 35-footer once to force overtime, but 37 to pull that up.
Yeah, but and then the Sharks come back. Maybe shouldn't have been a major penalty, but
yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah,
it's a cross check. I mean, the guy cross checks him off the face off, and then I think it just looks bad because he gets cross-checked and then he gets hit again on the guy closing out, and so he goes down and hits his head on the ice and he's bleeding everywhere. And I think it was a reactionary kind of call. I mean, it should have been a 2-minute. It absolutely should have been a 2-minute minor. I don't think if he doesn't fall and hit his head and bleed everywhere, I don't think they're giving him a 5-minute major. But at the same time, I said this when they were up 3-0. He said when you're up 3-0 with that much time left, you shouldn't put yourself in a position to even grab any kind of major.
Right.
I mean, so.
Yeah, because we're all four of those on the power play?
Yeah.
All 4 goals were on one power, same one power play.
They scored 4 goals in like 4 minutes. I think
4 minutes and 1 second.
4 minutes and 1 second, yeah.
It was the exact time. I know because I sat and watched it. And like I said, our friend Hank, who we're going to call here in a minute, was cool enough to be Facebook Living it from the game. So we got to see on my phone, Facebook Live. There was a little bit of a delay, maybe 5-6 seconds. But seeing it there, then seeing it live, hearing their reactions, seeing fans there was really cool to watch. And then for Vegas to tie it up before the end of regulation.
You knew that was coming.
Oh, yeah.
You knew that we were going to overtime.
That was Betcha Vegas' goalie gave that guy a big hug for at least getting him to overtime.
Yeah.
And then what an overtime. So we went 5 goals in 10 minutes in the third period to nothing for 12 minutes in the overtime before the final goal.
That was a nice goal, too.
It was. Well, and, those guys, all the cliches, these guys are tired, who wants it more, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, that's what it was. It was a good – there were a lot of shots on goal.
Yeah, there were. You usually see in overtime, especially when you get late.
I don't know the exact amount. My guess would be 30.
Oh, it was more than that.
You think it's more than 30 shots on goal in 12 minutes?
Oh, you're talking about in the overtime?
Just overtime.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, probably about
overtime, I would say was about 30. I knew at one point it was 10-9 shots on goal. And that was probably about maybe halfway, not quite halfway through it. So they probably got another 5 to 10 in there.
You usually see bad goals in overtime, like that. But that was a nice goal.
You see something stupid
bounce off somebody,
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But that was a nice goal.
We're gonna give Hank a call. Do you have to go?
I can say right there.
Okay, let's give Hank a call. You take this from here, Serge.
Okay.
You probably know. You Facebook Live it.
Hello.
Henry Davis.
Sure.
It's Serge, ESPN Radio. You're on the air, buddy. How you doing, man?
Good. How about yourself?
Good, brother. How's that game?
Oh, my God. I still have chills from watching that game from last night.
Sure. So I'll be dead honest with you. I kind of wanted the Vegas Knights to win that game. Nothing against San Jose. Just we were cheering for them last year being a new team. You switched me over last night.
Oh, man. San Jose Sharks, I've been a Sharks fan for about 3 years now from just being out here and going to so many Sharks games through my relationship with my fiance. But the atmosphere of that game last night, out of all the games I've been 20-plus games in the past 3 years, that was the most insane atmosphere, craziest game I've ever seen in my life.
That had to have been. So we just recapped it. There were 4 goals scored in 4 minutes and 1 second by San Jose. What time? Because I had my phone up and I got a notification that you were going live. Was it after their first goal that you started going Facebook Live, or after the second?
It was after the second goal I went to Facebook
Right, because
Live.
the crowd was really getting into it. They just scored 2 because those first 2 goals were within, I think, under a minute.
A minute.
They were under a minute.
Each other.
Yeah, they were like a minute apart to go. Now they're only down by 1, and now it's a game. So that's when I saw that, and I was watching it at Harrington's with a few other just kind of random hockey fans, and Bree was there, and she's by the bar, and I showed her, and she's like, oh, I saw it too. So she joined in your chat, which was really, really cool to be able to watch it from the perspective of Facebook Live from you being at that game, and then actually having it on TV in front of you. It was everybody kind of crowded around my phone. It was really cool. So that's why I was so excited. Cool. Thanks for letting me take the liberty of running that chat on there. That was fun.
Oh, absolutely. Just the atmosphere of that game up until Pavelski went down. It was a Stanley Cup playoff game, so of course the atmosphere was crazy. The San Jose Sharks, all the fans were just super fans.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. So we're down 0-3, and you kind of tell the crowd's kind of losing it.
Did anybody leave?
Nobody left, but I'm gonna tell you this, and Cassandra's gonna kill me for saying this. I was looking over at her.
She wanted to go.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't at all. It was me. I was looking around. I was like, babe, if they score another goal, we're gonna beat this traffic and we're gonna get out of here.
I probably would have said the same thing. You're trying to look like the smart one here. Like, hey, let's just cut our losses. It's 3-0, game 7. Let's just get out of here.
And from her being, you know, a diehard Sharks fan living in San Jose her whole life, being born and raised, she was like, gotta have faith, guys. Like, that's literally what she says to me. And I'm looking at her like, come on, babe. It's down. We're down 3 goals. We're in the third period. Okay, I get it. I get your faith. And then when Joe went down, man, I've never seen, like, you know, they were throwing shit on the ice. They were, you know, people were yelling behind us. They were cussing the referees out.
Right.
Like, I thought, like, a riot was going to happen. I'm looking around. I'm trying to, like, keep her safe because, like, literally the fans were going crazy at this point. Like, it was nuts. And then, right when the game started back up, and within 30 seconds that goal, it, like, bam.
Right.
It's over with. We didn't even sit down until the end of regulation.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was standing up during face-off, during everything. Like, you know, everybody was waving around their towels. Everybody was yelling.
You should have heard everybody at Harrington's boo when you turned off your Facebook Live.
My battery was about to die. I wanted to save it for the end.
No, that was like a 20-minute long Facebook Live while you're at a game with probably while everybody else is using the same Wi-Fi. Hank, I just got a couple more questions here for you, buddy. So after the game, obviously coverage gets cut from we're watching it on NBC Sports. So what was the atmosphere after that overtime goal and after the game?
Oh man, so you know, it's after that, you know, it's a sold out game.
Right.
We're walking out into the entrance, and everybody is just like high-fiving each other. Everybody's yelling. Everybody's, go Sharks, go. I mean, it was like crazy. Then we go outside, and the street is a party, sir.
Oh, cool.
Everybody's out there. And then we got the NBC sportscasters out there doing their live thing. They're giving us like these banners and everything to go live on TV. I mean, from walking outside and seeing like the whole like live NBC sports newscasters out there, even to walk into our car a mile away, the atmosphere was nuts. People were honking their horns down the street. You would have thought that was the Stanley Cup. That was it. We won everything.
Well, that's kind of what we've said this whole week long was with. That's the cool thing about NHL playoffs versus NBA playoffs is you get these better series matchups in the first rounds than you do in NBA. Everything's 4-1, 4-0, and this you actually had a Game 7 atmosphere just in the first round alone before you guys go on to face Colorado. Something I heard in a couple different spots last night, and I didn't really think about it until watching this game. You guys hear the Baby Shark song now?
Yeah.
It's gonna get worse.
It's going to get
now
worse.
You're gonna hear it all the time, and it's available on jukeboxes at bars. Just a heads up.
I'm about to play at the salon right now.
All right, Hank. I won't keep you much longer, brother. Thanks, man, for taking the call and talking to us about that, and thank you again for doing that last night.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Just your excitement alone, still talking about it is awesome.
And Hank, and congratulations on your upcoming wedding here, buddy.
Yeah.
We're gonna send you Z-Bar and P-Hood for a few days. So,
great!
You're in charge.
That's gonna be amazing. Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Miss you.
All right, Hank. Miss you too, bud. Later.
Thank you. Okay, we are. We're gonna. Bobby, thanks so much for coming in.
Yep.
I know you got to run, bud. I will. We'll talk to you next week when we get to overanalyze the draft.
Yeah, absolutely.
And talk about who won the draft and how that's going to change the schedules and the over-unders in Vegas and all that other reckless speculation. And we get to talk about Endgame when you come back.
Excited.
Yeah, when you come back,
excited.
I promise you, we'll take the first 10 minutes. If T-Roy's in here, we'll take as much time as you need to discuss Endgame. So
perfect.
All right, bud. Thanks. Yeah, we're just we're going to get to Seth Payne on the line. He's like I said, he was a 10-year vet of the NFL. He was a 4th-round pick of the 97 NFL draft for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Then he went 2002. He was in the supplemental draft, Houston Texans. Now he's back down on radio down 610 down in Houston, and he's also got a podcast called Deceptively Fast. I don't want to take too much away from, but actually on Thursday he's got one of my favorite NFL minds, former GM and scout Michael Lombardi, on his show every Thursday. Obviously, I want to talk to Seth about everything doing the draft, about his time when he got drafted, what he remembers about Tavian Banks when he played with him in the Jaguars, and I do want to talk to him about Lombardi because I think Lombardi's a genius. So we're just waiting to get him on the line, it's going to be fun to have another city, someone talk about it. And again, we mentioned that there's a possibility that Jadeveon Clowney could be traded. I don't know if that's really going to happen. That's kind of the thing that's gotten legs. It's been reported as early as in January, and then last month they put the franchise tag on him, and now it's starting to get a little bit of legs now, and it's only because it's close to the draft. That's all. So, all right. We're going to put Seth on the line. Hey, you're on the air. Is this Seth?
Yeah, this is Seth. How you guys doing?
Doing well. How are you? Seth, this is Jay Foster here in the Quad Cities, ESPN 93.5, and Serge is in here with me in the studio. So if you hear two voices, that's just where it's coming from. I kind of told everybody, well, I told our listeners a little bit about yourself, your career in the NFL, 10 years. You drafted 4th round in the 97 draft by the Jacksonville Jaguars. And in 2002, you went to the Houston Texans for the expansion draft. And now you're down 6'10", down in Houston. And you have a podcast.
That's me.
You have a podcast, Deceptively Fast.
Deceptively Fast podcast. That's like my general NFL podcast. And you guys, down in Houston, we're pretty much like 75% Texans, a little bit of Astros, a little bit of Rockets. I'm looking at you guys on the map, and like you guys are pretty much like NFL Network, right?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Yeah, it looks like you guys can pretty much talk about half of the NFC North and like the AFC South and West. Like you're equidistant from like 6 NFL teams. That's really cool.
It's I would say the majority of it this way. I always try to. It's about 20% Bears, 20% Vikings, 20% Packers. Then you get this odd amount of Cowboy fans.
Oh, really?
It's really strange, and I don't know.
They have their own club here in the Quad Cities.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know if it's because of the crowd that we run with because of our age. They all tend to be maybe about anywhere from 2 to 3 years older than me, and so I'm 43, and it's all because Danny White and Tony Dorsett and all those other guys. You know what I'm saying? Around the '83 era, I don't know why.
Oh, you don't even get the '90 era. You just
and then,
the classic Cowboys fans.
And then that's what you get. Then you get the ones that are about 10 years younger than me that jumped on that they said like, oh yeah, Cowboy fan. Then it is really strange, and I think going back to 2002 when I thought that was a great move by Houston by incorporating the name Texans to try to bring some people from the Cowboys, the fans down there.
It's funny when you look at the map of NFL fans, like by county, and you look at the state of Texas, like 2/3 of the state of Texas, really more than that. Like the areas all around the city of Houston, other than like the greater metro area, tend to be Cowboys fans. So it's like it's a slow and gradual process trying to win over some of those counties, and we know what it takes. It takes Super Bowls. You win a bunch of Super Bowls and old NFL championships, and you've got a bunch of Packers fans that are Packers fans for the next 4 generations, and there's nothing you can do until you win those multiple Super Bowls to get over that mystique that Dallas has in the state of Texas.
Did you low-key just call Packer fans bandwagon?
What
You heard it here first. I'm not going to argue with you one bit, brother. Go Bears.
Not at all, because a lot of people forget the dark days, the Tony Mandrich days, of the Green Bay Packers.
Oh,
like there was a period where people hung on, and who was it? Was it Lane Johnson from the Eagles that called Packers? No, it was the center there. He had called the Cowboys fans bandwagon fans. Well, I mean, if there are people that are jumping on a 9-7 bandwagon, I don't think that's what they are. I think they're pretty loyal. It's just that. It's the initial surge of bandwagon followed by, generational loyalty after that. You got to get the bandwagoners at the beginning, though.
So what are your plans for the draft? Are you staying in Houston? Do you go to Nashville? How is it for covering it?
I've been covering the Texans long enough that I'm not welcome to draft events or anything anymore. I don't get invited to the really cool stuff. I'll be at the draft at NRG Stadium, but I've been critical of enough coaches and GMs that they're like, hey, Seth, we love you, but only so much. So I'm not going to Nashville. I'll be at the draft, which is always a whole lot of fun. They do a pretty big draft party for the Texans, and the Texans didn't have a first or second rounder last year, so we're happy just to be in the mix and doing something to hopefully help Deshaun Watson out a little bit. Deshaun Watson is bruised, torn, and injured just about every quadrant of his body because he's got a pathetic offensive line in front of him. So that's what we're all hoping for.
Well, now that you mention it, I've been looking at mock drafts. Obviously, everybody does one. All the talking heads do. Someone's got to write more things for Click and everything, and pulled up a few. And then I just looked at. It's Houston. You guys have so many different blogs and everything, and just pulled up a couple. But the one that I found the most on ToroTimes.com, and they've got Andre Dillard going in the first round, and second round they're saying that Dalton Reisner will still be there from Kansas State, and like you said, offensive line looks like to seem to be where they're looking at the most.
It does, and I don't know if Dillard's going to be there. If you look at the offensive line, there seems to be enough consensus that you've got those three guys at the top between Jonah Williams, you've got Dillard, you've got Jawan Taylor, and then all these other guys, Cody Fords and whatnot, and the Dalton Reisners. I think they're worth a first-round pick if you pick them. Like, I wouldn't criticize any of them for it, but those guys are all kind of in that blend just beneath those top three guys. And I think especially if you look at the Carolina Panthers, you look at the Atlanta Falcons, some of those teams in the mid-round, I don't think many of the really good offensive linemen, or at least those top three, are going to be there past the mid-rounds.
Okay. What's now? I just see. I've been reading also. The speculation is kind of growing legs now about Jadeveon Clowney. Is there any chance at all? Do you think that they trade him to get some picks?
I think the market has pretty much dried up because Frank Clark going to the Chiefs, I think, was the last team that really had an appetite, like the Chiefs had an appetite for a pass rushing defensive end. And it's I'm actually a fan of what the Chiefs did. I know they're being criticized for spending too much to basically replace D Ford, but Frank Clark is a much better scheme fit. So I think that the Chiefs might have been the last team that would have been really interested at that level. I think the Texans like Jadeveon Clowney, but they're in this classic fix where Jadeveon was injured a lot early in his career, had multiple surgeries, a bunch of surgeries. He missed, and it wasn't just the major ones, he missed some time with some minor little injuries. After that, he got healthy, and he's been largely healthy for the past 4 years, and he plays with a really high motor. And I think there are a lot of things I like about him, but they're just holding enough in reserve that they don't quite want to commit to him the same way they would a J.J. Watt or a DeAndre Hopkins, or I guess the last big guy they committed to before that was Andre Johnson. So they're not actively shopping him, but I think they'd be willing to listen to offers, but it would have to be a hell of an offer. So I think ultimately Jadeveon Clowney ends up playing here this year, maybe it's under the franchise tag, but then maybe becomes trade bait against next year.
Okay, so you don't think they'll come to an agreement in July? You think he'll get franchised and play through the year?
Yeah, I think at this point that's where it's headed. And one thing the Texans do really well is they don't leak a lot of information about their interior contract negotiations. So I might very well be surprised by something. But I think right now, both sides kind of like the opportunity that might be there next year. I think the Texans feel like they'll get a good effort out of Clowney this year. He's never been, for all of kind of the negativity that swirls around him, there's always kind of vague reports that he's not a locker room guy and everything. He's not a bad guy at all. I think there's times where coaches wish he was more like J.J. Watt, like more like the Boy Scout that does everything right, says yes sir, no sir. He's his own guy, and he might not be that. He's not that J.J. Watt level of worker, but he busts his butt on the field, and he produces consistently. I spent a lot of time defending him because I think people have this notion that he doesn't try hard all the time. He's a high motor player. There's just not quite the mesh up between the Texans and Clowney right now.
Gotcha. You mentioned Deshaun Watson. He's fantastic to watch. Like you said, he's all over the place. He takes more hits than any other quarterback. He did last year, at least. What's it like covering Watson? I mean, would you cover him for the radio?
Well, it's a lot of fun. I mean, and 2 years ago after his rookie season, that was just such a revelation after having years of Ryan Fitzpatrick, Brian Hoyer, Brock Osweiler, 12 different quarterbacks or so over the course of several years. It was just exciting to get a franchise quarterback. But we were all expecting year 2 to look more like what Pat Mahomes has this year. He's a different. Like, Deshaun doesn't have the arm that Pat Mahomes does, but he has that playmaking ability. This year, between coming off of the ACL, playing behind an inadequate offensive line, and then having his receivers as banged up as they were, it just wasn't quite the sophomore season that everybody had hoped. I think people are very, very optimistic about this year. There are a couple things he needs to do. One is just recognizing blitz pre-snap, learning how to adjust the pass protection. That's really one of the only things that's kind of holding him back right now. Otherwise, it looks like he's making that natural progression. And I mean, this year, like if you're wondering about Deshaun for fantasy purposes, I think this year is going to be a much more productive than last year.
That's good to know. You mentioned that sometimes the Houston Texans, you've been critical of some things and rubbed them the wrong way. Where did you stand at the beginning of the 2017 season where the Texans elected to start Tommy Macho Man Savage and not Deshaun Watson? Where did you fall on that?
I was trying to support Bill O'Brien, and at the time Rick Smith was the GM, in that decision, just because I feel like, there's no way to prove that it's better to sit or start any particular guy. And part of the problem is that, Aaron Rodgers can sit and he can play really well after he sits, but then you can never prove that he wouldn't have been the same guy if he had just started as a rookie. Likewise, I played on a team with David Carr. Mm-hmm. And I watched David Carr do incredible things in practice, but I also saw him get sacked 76 times his rookie year, I think. And I think David had that clock in his head damaged, either physically or metaphorically, because he just got bludgeoned those first 2 seasons. So I always want to err on the side of being cautious with your quarterback. Be sure you really give him enough time. The thing that really upset me, though, was that they bailed on that plan so quickly, that they had put so much faith in Tom Savage when clearly they shouldn't. That's what made me really wonder, all right, do they actually know what they're doing here when they benched Tom Savage 2 quarters into the game? And remember, the previous year they had benched Brian Hoyer 2 quarters into a football game. So that was where I was upset with that. But largely, that first year in 2017, they got the benefit of the doubt a lot because they had a young quarterback. When you're always going to give the benefit of the doubt to the young quarterback, and hey, look, the team's on the way up. I think last year when the Texans started out 0-3, we were a lot more critical, and we were really worried that they were squandering this bright young talent. So now, after they got themselves back on track, I think everybody's more just expectantly waiting to see what they can do to protect them to the offensive line.
I'm going to go back to this. Go back to the draft this year, and again, Toro Times, round 3. They have the Texans at the 86th pick, taking Amani Hooker from Iowa, which we'd love to see that down there. I think you're going to get if you do that happens, I think you're going to get a great defensive back there.
You think so?
Yes.
See, I don't know much about him. I actually was hoping you guys could tell me a little bit about him, and then also T.J. Hawkinson and Noah Fant, because I suggested that if Hawkinson somehow fell to the Texans at 23, they should take him, and I got lambasted by people because of that. And my point was, I think Hawkinson makes the offensive line better because he injects that little bit of doubt into a defense, whether you're running, whether you're passing, because he's such a multi-purpose threat. And I'm guessing you guys feel the same way.
Okay, yes. And Seth, you're in luck because in studio that just walked in from HawkeyeReport.com is Tom Kakert. He covers all the time. And Tom's here. Tom covers all the Iowa Hawkeyes, and he was going to talk after you about some of the draft, where they think they're going to go. Did you hear? This is Seth Payne, by the way. Tom,
okay.
Seth, did you hear what he was talking about?
No.
Okay, we brought up Hooker at round 3, that projection that they had down in Houston, going to Houston. But he said he wanted to talk about TJ and Noah Fant, and also that he brought up that if TJ were to fall to the Texans, he thought it'd be a good idea for the Texans to take him. He said he got lambasted down in Houston for that.
Oh, well, and only because the Texans' needs are so much at offensive tackle. I wouldn't expect him to fall that far, but if he did, I feel like that would be like a gift from God.
He's a great blocker too, and that's the great thing about Hawk is that he's more of a willing blocker. Fant is more of a wide receiver playing tight end, a big guy just who can really run. but he's not a great blocker. But boy, if they could get Hawk, I mean, that it's like, he's as close to, Gronk, Mark Bavaro kind of tight end that you'll find out there.
That's what I thought, and does he look like he's got room to grow a little bit, or at least put some more on his frame? He looks almost like he's got that Gronk body where you can't quite figure out if he's actually bulky or just really svelte. He's just got a big frame.
Yeah, he's 3 years out of this is really his third year, redshirted and then played 2 years, blew up obviously last year, and he's from a really small town in kind of south central Iowa, and he was more of just like almost a wide receiver at the high school level. So and a really good basketball player, great hops. I saw him play basketball a couple of times, and he's really good and good size. So he has not by any means really filled out. I think he's probably 240, 250 right now, and he's just got more that he can do as he physically matures. That he's going to be a big guy like a Gronk, but he's got better wheels than Gronk did, I think, coming out of high school.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
Seth,
and then I guess Amani Hooker. Do you have time for a question?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we got plenty of time. Yeah, it's as much time as you got.
Now, I guess the one question I'd have with Amani Hooker is that he hasn't played safety and corner. He's just a safety.
Yeah, the way Iowa has done it is last year, about midway through the year, they went to basically a 4-2-5, and it's that outside linebacker that's essentially covering a wide receiver, so it's almost like a corner in position. In fact, as Iowa's moving forward, they're basically looking at cornerbacks at that position. So he's got corner cover skills, but he's big enough to play safety. A really rangy kid, really under-recruited out of high school because he was just he did kind of everything for his high school team. He was playing quarterback and returning kicks and doing a little bit of everything. So he got to college and he's filled out, but he's a super smart kid. He'd be a great fit, kind of like how Desmond King has done for San Diego. I think Amani could have that same sort of impact on wherever he goes.
That would be interesting because Andre Hall, who had been one of the safeties for the Texans, just retired. He beat cancer last offseason.
Wow.
And then he ended up retiring this spring. And they don't have a needed starter right now, but that would be interesting in the mid-round. They love versatility here with the Texans. That might be a name I'll suggest to our listeners tomorrow to keep an eye on as they get into the weekend round.
Yeah, he could potentially be almost like a nickel, a slot kind of corner defensively, or he could play safety. He could do a lot of things.
Seth, take us through like your experience in the 97 draft. You were drafted in the 4th round out of Cornell. Take us through so people, the listeners out there, kind of know what they're going through. Some of these players being drafted.
I think the biggest thing that I remember that I think people might not realize is just how long it feels to a prospect when you're sitting there waiting pick after pick after pick. And, the longer it goes on, you got to remember most of these guys. I came from a small school, so I didn't know exactly what I had in store. But most of the guys that are in the draft have never really been picked for second for many things. They might have been like, maybe they were a 4-star recruit instead of a 5-star recruit, or Penn State didn't recruit, like maybe Iowa wanted them, but Iowa State didn't. But for the most part, they're used to winning a lot. And then you sit there and like pick after pick after pick is just rejection after rejection after rejection. And you do start to get a little bit nervous, like more nervous than you let on at the time, that like, oh man, what am I going to do if I don't get taken? What if I don't know if I don't get taken? And it used to just be 2 days. Now it's 3 days of sitting through all of that. So that was the biggest thing. I think just like the stress and how you enter this warp zone where time gets stretched out, and every 5 minutes feels like 15 minutes. And every time somebody calls, you just want to shut off everything. So by the time I actually got picked, it's being excited, but also a little bit of relief. Like, all right, now I get to actually go concentrate on playing football again.
And then in the next year of the draft, Jacksonville, obviously, they got Fred Taylor, but later on they took Iowa's Tavian Banks. He's from our area.
Oh, yeah.
He's from our area.
Oh,
So,
yeah, Tavian.
Yep. So,
Man, he's great. I love Tavian Banks. And it's just it's a shame he got that really, really bad injury in Atlanta up on the turf up there. He had already stepped out of bounds and came back inbounds, and somebody just blew his knee out. Tavian was going to be like a hell of a 1-2 punch for Fred Taylor, and started off being just that because he was just that classic, man. He can kill you as a receiver. He's like I don't want to call him a scat back because I think he was a little bit more of that. He was just ridiculously fast. That would have gone down, I think, as like one of the better, was he a 3rd or 4th round pick in NFL history. I was that excited about having both Fred Taylor and Tavian Banks, but he's I loved playing with him for the short amount of time that we had him.
and then the other thing, I want you to take the time to again plug your podcast and your radio show and follow you on social media, and then I have another question for you after that.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's on Twitter at Seth C. Payne. I think I have an Instagram account still at Seth C. Payne, but I'm mostly on Twitter. And the podcast is the Deceptively Fast Podcast. You can get it on iTunes and Stitcher and all those other places. And that's just largely an NFL-based podcast.
Yeah, and I had to ask you about my second favorite person on Deceptively Fast Podcast. I got to ask about Mike Lombardi.
Oh, Michael Lombardi. Yeah, you know, it's funny. Michael Lombardi started off when I'd see him on various platforms. He'd make me so angry sometimes because he'd have some opinion and it would drive me nuts. And then I'd think about it for like a week. And after about a week or two, you know, and I'm not talking about predictions because everybody gets predictions wrong, but he'd have some opinion. After about a week or two, I'd be like, man, you know what? Lombardi makes a good point. So I had him on. I invited him to come on and ended up being a weekly guest last year. I'm not sure if we're going to do it again this year or not because he just started a new podcast with The Athletic. But yeah, it's really fun picking the brain of somebody that's on the front office side because as a player, a lot of times you just wonder what the hell the front office is thinking because sometimes it doesn't make any rhyme or reason. And you start to talk to these guys, and as easy as it is to call a GM of your favorite team an idiot, you realize, wow, they've got 20 different factors going into every decision they make. And there's so much more to it than you really realize when you're a player.
All right, and before I let you go, you mentioned that sometimes you might rub the Texans the wrong way or whatever else. Me being new to and Sergey being new to the radio game, what advice do you give us not to rub anybody the wrong way around our area?
I think that most people are good at differentiating criticism from insult, and I think there's times where I get so worked up that listening to it back, I am like, oh yeah, that was beyond, that was over the line. That was a little bit insulting and disrespectful. So I really, over time, what I've tried to do is think of it like my best coaches. Like the best coaches I've ever had have been really tough and really hard, but also have always talked about it from the perspective of, hey, this is what you need to do. This is what needs to get better. This is why it's not working right now. Instead of just saying, you're trash, you're an idiot, you suck, you know? And I think in terms of what's good for the listeners, that's what listeners respect more. You know, like you can get up and you can say, hey, this guy's a clown, this guy's a moron all day long, but like anybody can do that. Yeah. If you explain why somebody might think they're a clown, that goes a lot further.
Can you call back next week when T. Roy's here to go over this again?
He's another guy on our show.
We're missing one of the guys today.
Yeah. That's correct.
I feel like I get along with that guy.
Yeah, I think you would too. Seth, I want to thank you for your time this afternoon. And again, you're on 610 down in Houston, but you can listen to the podcast Deceptively Fast. Is Seth Payne. He had 10 years in the NFL. Hey, man, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. We really do.
Hey, my pleasure. Anytime, man.
Thanks. You take care. All right. Like I said, that was Seth Payne from Houston, 6'10", and he's 10 years in the NFL, and yeah, that was fun talking to him just about where he thinks the Texans are going to do, just what it's like down there, Texas versus Cowboys, and he had a lot of good questions for Coach Mr. Kakert, and
who's Mr. Kakert?
Tom Kakert. I got stumbled on my words and then I went there, so Anyway, I think I was thinking Coach Brian, and then I wanted to kick it. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll have Tom kick it in here. We'll talk about the Iowa Hawkeyes in the draft.
Buying a home can be overwhelming. Don't get discouraged by the process. From start to finish, you'll need the guidance of a professional. Let Jen Peterson Murphy with RE/MAX Elite Homes use her extensive background in real estate to help you navigate the process. From lending qualifications and budgeting costs to recommend inspections, Jen Peterson Murphy can get you the most for your money in a competitive market. Jen Peterson Murphy specializes in residential real estate sales and assisting first-time homebuyers. For expert advice including strategic marketing practices, comprehensive market analysis, staging and home assessments, think Jen Peterson Murphy of RE/MAX Elite Homes.
Here are the top 10 reasons to join Tarpons Martial Arts Center. 10. They've been voted the best martial arts instruction by locals love us. 9. It's fun for all ages. 8. Kickboxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu will definitely get you in shape. 7. Everyone wants more self-confidence. 6. You've always wanted to try martial arts. 5. Tarpons has certified black belt instructors. 4. It gets the kids out of the house. 3. Did I mention it's fun? 2. Get a free set of foam nunchucks with a new membership. And the number one reason to join Tarpons Martial Arts Center, it's easy to start your lessons today. Visit tarponsgojo.com.
The NFL Draft is this Thursday, so come join us at Kavanaugh's Hilltop Bar and Grill for the unofficial kickoff to the NFL Draft weekend in Rock Island. Join me, Adam Rosso, and the guys from ESPN 93.5 Don't Hassle Us, We're Local, as we will be streaming live on Facebook for the entire first round to provide analysis. Front Street Brewery will be tapping a special firkin just for this event, and Kavanaugh's will have $1.50 drafts and $6 tenderloins, along with prize giveaways and special guests. Come watch the first round of this year's NFL Draft with the best football fans in the Quad Cities.
Even in my own home, I had my own designated space to smoke. If I think about it, it really was like I was punishing myself. A friend of mine said, why wouldn't you just try the Juul? And so I went out and I bought one. The idea of going back to smoking, I couldn't even imagine doing that. I don't think anyone, including myself, thought that I could switch.
Carolyn made the switch October 2016. Make the switch at JUUL.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Your garage is cluttered. Instead of a place to park your car, you've got sports equipment, lawn tools, half-finished projects, and a workbench that hasn't been touched in years. Tailored Living of the Quad Cities can take your garage from clutter and chaos to functional and fun. Whether you want a killer man cave or just to get clean and organized with an epoxy floor and custom garage cabinets, we've got you covered. Hi, I'm Amy. Schedule your free in-home consultation at tailoredliving.com and you and I will design the garage of your dreams.
When storm damage hits, All Major Restorations is your insurance claim specialist. Loose or missing shingles, dented siding, or damaged windows. All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities works with your insurance company, making the process quick and easy. The insurance company has people fighting for them. Let All Major Restorations work for you. Residential, commercial, and industrial. There's a reason they have an A+ accredited Better Business Bureau rating. Storm damage estimates are always free. Visit amrestorations.com. All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities.
At Menards, nobody beats our prices, so you can save big money on energy-efficient solutions. Control your home's temperature with Honeywell thermostats. Choose from a great selection that helps you save on your energy bills. A thermostat with a digital display is just $14.99. A 7-day programmable thermostat is only $39.99. Get these and other great savings during Menards Spring Catalog Sale now through May 5th. Plus, a Menards gift card is perfect for Mother's Day.
Save big money at Menards.
Eat fresh and save money. That's our commitment at Nolly's Kitchen. Our homemade corn tortilla and gorditas are both delicious and gluten-free. Nolly's always uses lean meats, and they offer low-carb and vegetarian options. Taste their one-of-a-kind menu items like empanadas, churros, enchiladas, and tamales. Carry out available or order online for faster service at nollyskitchen.com. Plus, check out their express menu and get your food in 15 minutes or less. Nolly's Kitchen, old-fashioned Mexican cooking. Rockingham and Division, Davenport.
Welcome back to the Hassle Palace. Brought to you by Done Right TV and Security Solutions. You're listening to ESPN 93.5. This is Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Just got off the phone with Seth Payne from Houston. Houston's at 610 Radio. former NFL player, talked to us about the NFL draft, and we talked earlier to Vic Tafur, and you can go back and listen to this if you missed any. You just come to it on Facebook Live, and let's do it on podcasts as well. But in the studio now, we have Tom Kakert from Hawkeye Report. Luckily came in to save me from Seth's questions about TJ and Noah, because then I really like them. They're really good. I don't think TJ's gonna fall to there. Noah might be there, but they're awesome. Yeah, I mean, when
you were like Chris Farley interviewing Paul McCartney.
That's what I thought was going to happen when I interviewed Chuck Long, to be honest with you. I thought that was going to be
awesome. Remember that time when you wrote that song with John Lennon?
Actually, that was
awesome.
Dude, that was like my first time talking.
Remember when you played with the Hawkeyes?
That was seriously like the first time when I interviewed Wes Ericke from the president of the Iowa Game Association. That's how geeked I was the first time. But yes, once you dropped the 4-2-5 defense, I was like, I'm so happy I'm not here to do this right now, to answer these questions about Hooker. But no, that was great. Thank you. So tomorrow night,
big night.
Yeah,
Nashville. Wish I was down there. Love Nashville.
I know.
Good town.
Good town.
I got a good steak place. I told T-Roy that before.
I know. Are you still? Where are you at right now on the Hawkeyes first round?
Well, I think both those guys are going to go in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't be there if they didn't think they were going to go. Hawk for sure. I mean, I would be surprised if Hawk gets out of the top 10 at this point. Just, I think kind of that backstop is probably Denver would pick him if they could.
Mm-hmm.
But Jacksonville, Matt Randazzo's Lions,
that as well,
which would be painful for me. Or maybe somebody trades up.
I've got him at 12 with the Packers.
Ugh, boy, that'd be painful for me.
But that's what we did actually. But that has everything to do with our mock draft that we did yesterday, and we couldn't make any trades, so that's why. But
I kind of think maybe Fant goes to the Packers later.
Okay, yeah,
with their second pick.
Yeah, I've got that.
Well, you know what wouldn't shock me? Absolutely would not shock me. Just knowing the relationship between the New England Patriots and the University of Iowa coaching staff is if New England, who has a boatload of picks in this draft, trades up higher into the first round and grabs TJ Hawkinson.
We said that I think you brought that up last week.
Yeah.
And you said that's the one that you're eyeing. You're like, here's what you
just wouldn't surprise me. That's one of those where, all of a sudden, boom, we'll see, New England's trading up. Wow. They're looking for weapons for Mr. Brady.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost his best weapon. And you may have the second coming of Gronk-ish kind of player in Hawk. So, be interesting.
You're saying maybe Green Bay at the 30 pick for no fan, but New England can hold tight and get Irv Smith as well.
There's a difference between those guys.
I understand that, and they could, they could easily make a move there and move there around. Someone else can get the Irv
Hawk
Smith.
Just seems like the New England prototype. Just does.
Mm-hmm.
It's like out of central casting for the Pats.
So, how much do you follow the draft?
Not a ton.
Yeah.
I do, but I don't. I mean, I'll peek at what, Mel Kiper and McShay are doing and Daniel Jeremiah at NFL Network. I'll poke around at them and just kind of get a feel, but it's just not something I obsess about too much. I'll watch it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Just from the Iowa perspective. And for me this year, being a Bears fan, it's not as interesting the first couple days.
Yeah.
It's just not as interesting. We don't have picks.
Yeah, I really kind of want to see where some of the big names go and then see what some of our rival teams do. That's kind of like what I watch when we don't have any picks in the first round.
Yeah, that's... I don't want the Lions to, and I don't want them to get any Iowa players because I don't want to have to root against them.
Exactly.
That's just sort of my mentality.
I think that...
I'm right with you on that.
I think that's what we said. Like, you couldn't... In one of those things, if you needed to pique someone's interest, then having even a pick on Saturday in Rock Island was good for the Quad Cities, for those people that are just Bears fans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To pay attention a little bit more about the draft and how
That's going to be fun on Saturday
Yeah.
when they do that, the draft over there. And I'm assuming that Cincinnati's pick is probably going to be the pick that's
so.
made over there, given that Kenny Anderson's going to be there.
Mhm.
So it'll be cool. It's neat that they're doing that.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to ask you about so after that, there's a question on here from Erickson, but I need to ask you something else about Iowa basketball beforehand, and Andy from the Natty reminded me. Are you going to be around for Megan Gustafson's signing on Saturday?
Yeah, that's what time is that?
I think it's like 10 to 12.
Yeah, I'll probably be around.
Yeah. Because Black and Gold is the Black and Gold Shop's one of your sponsors.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out a way I can get over there. Say hi to Megan. She's great. Anybody who has, especially young girls who like to play basketball, go. She's just terrific with kids.
I can't make it over there.
Terrific.
Will you give me a signed poster?
If I make it.
All right. Well, can you tell your sponsor to get me a signed poster?
I can probably get them.
Who do you want to have it made out to, Jay?
She can just write Megan Gustafson.
I could just call the Iowa basketball.
My number's
assistant coaches.
I can't get I tried to get her on the air. I reached out to Angie, and she said you have to go through her agents.
Oh wow!
Yeah, she's big time now.
Wow.
Yeah. She said Angie said I'd love to help you. You know, because it's for all the proceeds are going to the Children's Therapy Center for the Quad Cities.
Yeah.
And she said, but at this point, everything goes through agents. So I said, okay, I understand. And
you could do just call the SID at Iowa.
Mm-hmm. Well,
call Brandy.
Can you just call the sponsor for me, Tom?
I will.
I can't do
I
that.
will.
And just don't make it. Just say Megan Gustafson.
I'll see if I can get something.
Number
for
10.
you.
I do a drill that no one else can do. It's
the mic and drill.
Yeah, the mic and drill. Anyway, all right. So Erickson is asked on the Vans Pizza Pub and Grill Facebook comment line. Do you have that pinned comment for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I lost it here. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna go back up. I got you. Said, how'd the visit go with the Marquette transfers? Joey and Sam Hauser, the Hauser brothers, would be a tremendous addition to the Iowa basketball team.
They have not visited yet.
Okay.
They yesterday. Joey Hauser, I believe, talked to Jeff Goodman, maybe, or John Rothstein, one of the two, both national recruiting guys or college basketball guys. And they've narrowed their schools to Iowa, Wisconsin, Virginia, Michigan State. Joey and Sam Hauser are both about 6'8", 6'9", kind of rugged power forwards who can shoot. Both of them shot over 40% from three, and they shot a good number of them. So they're very skilled. Both averaged 7-8 rebounds a game when they played a lot. They're both really good players. And they're from Stevens Point, Wisconsin. So that's the interest from Virginia because Tony Bennett grew up in Stevens Point. So they have some interest there. The interesting story is figuring out why they left Marquette, because it was interesting that they made this announcement just basically right after Marcus Howard, their point guard, announced that he was staying for his senior year. And he's what you would call a ball dominant guard, I guess.
Okay.
Shoots a lot. Has the ball in his hands a lot. I don't think they wanted to maybe deal with that anymore. So it could be other things too, but it just seemed suspicious to say. So Wisconsin, obviously interesting because it's the in-state school. Michigan State Joey was much more highly recruited than Sam out of high school.
Okay.
So I think Marquette's play was we get Sam, maybe we get Joey. And Michigan State finished second for Joey out of high school. Joey played for the Iowa Barnstormers AAU team with Joe Wieskamp.
Okay.
Played with him for a couple of years. They had really good chemistry together. They enjoyed playing with each other. They're good friends. So I think that's probably the obvious tie to Iowa is he played with an AAU program from Iowa, knows a lot of the people, knows the McCaffreys. So Iowa's in the mix. They're going to visit Wisconsin this weekend, which is weird to me because this is a live period for basketball recruiting, which means all the coaches can be on the road at AAU events, and their head coach is going to have to stay back. But these are two biggest recruits too that they could get, so it's a huge priority for Wisconsin. Then they're going to go to Michigan State the following week, and then they're going to take a week off. I think it's Mother's Day weekend, and then the weekend after that, they're going to Virginia. The Iowa visit probably be right after that, is my guess. I know Joey a little bit just because Iowa was showing interest in him, and I saw the Barnstormers play a lot with Joe on the team. Really close-knit family. I think being closer to home is going to be important for them. They're just really, I mean, every one of those games, family was there. And if they were, I saw them play up in Wisconsin a couple times at an event in Milwaukee, and even Sam was there, obviously, because he's at Marquette, so he could just drive over and be there. So, but they're interesting. They're going to have to sit for a year unless they get some sort of crazy waiver.
The transfer portal.
Yeah. So they're in the portal. We'll see what happens. And I was also involved with DJ Harvey, a former 4-star recruit out of high school from the D.C. area. 6'7" kid. He was a top 50 kid out of high school. Played as a freshman, hurt his knee, had to have microfracture surgery. Came back last year. Did okay. But he's at Notre Dame. He said that he's reserved the right to come back to Notre Dame. He just wanted to see what was out there. So, but he's going to take an official to Iowa at some point. So we'll see where that goes. But he's got a lot of talent. But boy, when you start talking about microfracture surgery for basketball players, you just kind of get a little.
And that's why Notre Dame's okay with him flirting with other programs.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. He just didn't. I saw Notre Dame play a couple times last year. He just didn't look like he was explosive as he was if you watch his film from high school.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right. Well, we got to take one quick break and come back again with more from Tom Kakert from Hawkeye Report. We'll be right back. Don't Hassle, we're local.
Do you want the latest in TV and security technology but don't know where to start? Call Done Right TV and Security Solutions, your Dish premier local retailer, to get started today. They'll take the guesswork out of choosing the latest smart home technology with your budget in mind. Dish has been a leader in technology for years, and the Hopper Smart HD DVR interacts with your smart speaker to change channels, pause, and fast forward with just the sound of your voice. Sign up today and receive a Nest doorbell system free courtesy of Done Right. So call 866-84-RIGHT today and let Done Right provide local professional installation with personal service that's trusted by thousands of business and homeowners in the Quad Cities. Restrictions apply. It requires an internet-connected Hopper. That's Done Right TV and Security, 866-84-RIGHT.
This is Matt Koss of the Quad City Times, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5.
Did you see that game last night?
Ooh, instant classic.
I can't believe how much Burton was sweating in the ninth. You could see each bead dripping off his brow.
I didn't see him sweating.
My girlfriend was blown away by his clear skin. She kept going on and on about what his daily regime is. It was pretty impressive. I'm sure you noticed that.
Yeah, I didn't notice his smooth skin.
Either you don't have a girlfriend or you don't have DirecTV.
I don't have either, actually.
Wow. Really?
Live sports that aren't in 4K are just kinda TV. Only DirecTV has the most live sports in 4K. Don't just kinda TV, DirecTV. Switch from Dish and get a $200 reward card. Limited 4K programming available. Requires entertainment package or higher and compatible equipment. Reward card with 24-month agreement. Maintain service and redeem within 75 days. Card within 4 weeks. Limited time offer. Select markets only. Requires 2-room setup. Minimum $47 per month for 12 months after discount. Price is higher in second year. New residential customers only. Equipment lease, activation, installation, early termination, equipment non-return, and other charges and restrictions apply.
Blue Jack! What's better than a spring break? A spring payment break at Blue Jack Kia. Buy a new Kia today. Make no payments for 90 days. Plus, get spring savings on the new 2019 Kia Forte LXS. Lease for $199 per month for 36 months with zero money down. Take a spring payment break at Blue Jack Kia.
Blue
Blue Jack.
Automatic Forte number K16797. MSRP $19,985. 36 months, 10,000 mile per year lease. 0 down plus 0 security deposit due at signing. With approved credit through Kia Motors Finance. Excludes tax, title, license, and 180 doc fee. Interest accrues from time of delivery. May not be combined with some offers. Ends 4/30/19.
The NFL Draft is this Thursday, so come join us at Kavanaugh's Hilltop Bar and Grill for the unofficial kickoff to the NFL Draft weekend in Rock Island. Join me, Adam Rosso, and the guys from ESPN 93.5 Don't Hassle Us, We're Local, as we will be streaming live on Facebook for the entire first round to provide analysis. Front Street Brewery will be tapping a special firkin just for this event, and Kavanaugh's will have $1.50 drafts and $6 tenderloins, along with prize giveaways and special guests. Come watch the first round of this year's NFL Draft with the best football fans in the Quad Cities.
Dynamic Power Racing Technology is a one-stop shop for all your street and racing needs. Better handling, routine maintenance, or more power, Dynamic Power offers a complete in-house machine shop with computerized balancing, dyno testing, and cylinder head repair. From full engine rebuilds to brand name parts, at Dynamic Power, we work with you to give you the best build for your budget. Track tested, customer approved. Dynamic Power in Moline. Call 762-2323. That's 762-2323.
In a world where dreams are built from the ground up, Tailored Living makes room for your vision. Imagine his and her walk-in closets in the master bedroom.
Oh, my dream come true. I could just kiss you. Mwah!
Sweet. Your home, your dream.
Tailored Living Custom Closet or Organization System will take you from clutter and chaos to control. Hi, I'm Amy. Schedule your free in-home consultation at tailoredliving.com, and together you and I will build the closet of your dreams.
Now that my dad works for Winger Truck Line, I get to see him on weekends. And the best part, he gets to go to my baseball games and even helps out with coaching my team. Winger has helped me become a happier kid and made my dad a cool truck driver.
This is Eric at Winger Truck Line, where flexible home time really means something. Now hiring part-time, home daily, and regional home weekends. Call me today at Winger Truck Line, 800-593-6433, or visit drivewtl.com.
All right, welcome back to ESPN 93.5. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're in studio with Tom Kakert, and Tom and I were just talking off the air. You know, it's one day it's 74 out. One morning it's 49 degrees out. Ugh. You're all over the place watching baseball, and now you get to go to a spring game on Friday.
I don't even know if it'll be a game. They might do a little bit of scrimmage stuff. Maybe they'll do some scrimmage stuff to entertain us. But it's not open to the public this year because Kinnick is getting new turf down. So we're going to be over at the practice. It's going to be outdoors. Looks like the weather's going to be fine. So unless that changes in the next couple days, we'll be outside with the football team, so it'll just be media only. So we're having we're gonna have to be everybody's eyes and ears, I guess, for this. So we'll probably have a bunch of stuff up. Our photographers coming, so we'll really good photo gallery, and we'll shoot some video and get to talk to Nate Stanley for the first time this spring because he's had a class conflict this spring. So. Maybe talk to a few other guys, but Brian Ferentz was wildly entertaining yesterday.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Brian is just, if you know Brian is going to give you opinions. Okay, and he has an opinion on everything. He's Kirk Ferentz's son, but he's not in that way. Yeah, where Kirk is very measured, very reserved, not going to ruffle any feathers. Brian is more than willing to poke a bear or two, and he's done so. I had him on the podcast a couple times, and he's ruffled some feathers, took shots at Iowa State, and just he likes to do that. Yesterday, committed a recruiting violation within the first 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did he do?
He mentioned the name of a recruit who has not signed yet.
Oh,
and he can't do that. It's funny, and then we get a transcript from it, and they expunge that from the record, but it's still out there. He mentioned Gavin Williams, running back. He's still mad 5 years later at Ross Pierschbacher for going to Alabama.
Okay.
He's still...
Good for him.
He's still chapped about that.
That's good, though. I mean, all right, you lose an in-state...
Because he's just like... It was a tight end question of, isn't Thursday going to be basically an advertisement for Iowa football tight ends?
Yes, it is.
And he immediately turned it into, we produce the best offensive linemen in the country. And you look at the NFL draft, and we had a guy right up the road, and he didn't come here. Basically, is what he said.
So he's saying, what good is this advertisement anyway?
He's just like, I don't understand. I've given up trying to understand what kids think. And then he talked a little bit later about
him.
He goes, I don't know what's rolling around in 16 to 17-year-old kids' heads. And he goes, I know what was rolling around in mine, and it wasn't good. And, it's just, it was entertaining. I enjoyed it. I always enjoy talking to Brian because he's going to give you honest, unvarnished opinions. And he also mentioned that Kirk offered the brother of a recruit in the living room on a visit with the older brother, and that might have been a violation. It's just he was on a roll yesterday. He offered a reporter a job because he had a whole bunch of stats. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
He liked the analytics.
We should hire you as an analyst.
Wow. Look at that.
I think he was being.
Yeah, I know.
sarcastic.
Of course, but I mean, I think it's you can come in that way, and then I mean, you've heard the take on Gettleman when someone said, "Is the QB an important position?" The GM of the Giants, and is QB an important position, and he just was laughing at the guy, during the thing. He couldn't even stop doing it. But no, that's a great press conference to have too. For all the people out there that criticize when you lose an in-state recruit, you want to see that 5 years later it's still bothering the coaching staff.
Yeah.
And that's good. And he's right. When you say, wasn't this advertisement or whatever, well, it's not doing any good when they're right.
This one was really personal for Brian because he was the O-line coach at that point. He had led that recruitment. Ross had a picture of Kinnick Stadium above his bed.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'll never forget the day he committed because I was out to lunch at B-dubs with my son and got a text that he just committed, and I was like, "Whoa, this is big!" And then Alabama jumps in there later, and it's hard to say no to Nick. I mean, he played in 4 national title games?
Yeah,
and started in 4 national title games. It's hard to turn that down.
Yeah. I know.
How about Saban? He's already back to work after hip surgery. Rolled into work today.
Yeah.
Grinder.
Isn't he the best? Isn't he just the best? Ugh is right. So you got that on Friday. What else you got on tap for the weekend?
I should mention again, I mentioned it last week, Sunday at Rookies from 2 to 5.
Thank you.
There's a benefit and for Chris Ackerman, and they're going to have a signed helmet from all the Iowa coaches. So it's 2 to 5. They're going to have $10 red Solo cups for beer for that time. Paul McCartney tickets, some Cubs stuff.
I'm assuming there's a Facebook event for this.
Yeah, I think there is.
I'll share that out there after this as well. So that's at Rookies.
And I'll tweet that out again.
Yeah, that's at Rookies
2 to 5.
2 to 5
2 to
on
5
Sunday.
p.m. I will be there. We'll see if some of my friends show up. Some of my sketchy friends that have said they're coming. So we'll see.
All right, I will. I'll swing by.
Yeah, swing by. It's going to be a good time. We'll hang out, drink a few beers, watch some NFL draft. The NFL draft will be done by then.
Yeah, raise some money for a good cause.
But maybe a Cubs game or
watch
something.
a Cubs game.
Yeah,
and then you reach out to Megan Gustafson and
I'll see if I can get that poster.
Get a poster. Hang it over Mariah Carey poster over there or something. Hang it up back there.
You don't want a life-size Megan Gustafson.
Did you guys do a podcast this week?
No, we're gonna just wait until Monday.
And then do a recap.
Yeah, NFL draft and the spring football, and so we'll probably do that on. I think our tentative plan is Monday.
All right, so that's Hawkeye Report. Look for that on Monday. Probably drop on Tuesday then, or we'll drop Monday night as soon as you're done?
Probably Monday night. Monday afternoon, Monday night.
Follow Tom Kakert on Twitter at Hawkeye Report. Like he said, he'll tweet out that all the information about the benefit at Rookies from 2 to 5 on Sunday for Chris Ackerman. I'll put it out there on our Facebook page, or Serge if he finds it, the Facebook event, but we'll put it out there as well. I want to thank Vic Tafur from The Athletic, San Francisco, for calling in and talking to us about Oakland Raiders, and Seth Payne. He was a great guest, and for talking to us from Houston, and Bobby Metcalf for talking to us as well.
You're going to thank Bobby?
Bobby Metcalf.
I know.
Yeah.
Hank.
So why? Why are you thanking Bobby?
Because it's always good to have Bobby.
Jay, we're also going to have, sounds like Hank's probably going to go to a couple games against the Avalanche.
He's like our field reporter now.
We have a field reporter for the San Jose Sharks.
I could get you one for the St. Louis Blues.
Yes, please do.
My best friend is going to the game tomorrow night.
All right.
Oh, so Friday. See Phil calling Friday or whatever else. We're turning into a hockey show.
Look at this.
Look at us go.
He's gone to, I think, like 6 straight Blues games, playoff games, and they've lost.
Oh.
So this may be a final banishment for him.
All right.
Go to a playoff game where they lose. So.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. You have a hassle-free Wednesday.
System he's coming out of with Lincoln Riley. I just think he fits, and I think he has an ability to take the Cardinals to a different level.
Wall-to-wall draft coverage starts tomorrow night at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio and TV and ABC. ESPN's Diana Rossini reports the Redskins are targeting Ohio State quarterback Dwayne Haskins in the first round. Right now, Washington holds the 15th pick. The Warriors and Rockets try for series-clinching Game 5 wins at home tonight. The Warriors lead the Clippers 3-1. Coverage of that one on ESPN Radio at 10 Eastern.
This Mother's Day, show Mom just how much you appreciate her love.